composition feels that they probably have the winning solution going into this game. So I think it's going to get money no matter what, because we do have money in the server.
And no more magic, but we're hoping to see some magic happen here for Legacy on their attack. Already poised to set up for mid with a Viper wall that is currently down, and Deleter there to make first contact, and Legacy quick to chase them down. But with open catwalk, Legacy also don't want to walk into a trap.
Already TPing away as well. So the value that you currently have from both of these teams running this Euro is the fast rotates and how you can actually stack. So whether they're currently playing this, adding a lot of pressure in the very beginning, blocking vision, using a camera as the tier 2 layer, looking back towards mid. But that smoke is actually quite huge on the attack side. That's going to actually allow for them to find a little bit of a gap on where the defense is currently being set up and maybe continue to fight towards spawn. But it's a fake to fight back on catwalk.
So far, so good there for Tim, converting 2. Nice touch shot. This will inspire them to get into trees. So Oberg has an important job of maybe trying to get a surprise here. Sitting in wine. Legacy trades and dances, and now the rest of Legacy can stroll on in.
Even the wall actually it was broken a bit too, so it's being called out. So it's paying that there's at least one player rotating out through the spawn. With the window being broken, it confirms at least that player, but they haven't accounted the second one for PRS. So Legacy will still have to be quite safe, and they'll be able to do so because there's a camera on blast watching towards main and 3 players playing towards hell. How do you retake this? Most likely not going to happen.
Okay, unless Iza just really loves caster cursing, and he's going to tap the spike and takes care of blast. Wait a minute, 2v4, turning around, money low, bruh. Jonah. And way to go, Vance. Way to go, Vance. Way to go, Vanny and Prosperity. Jeez, that was close.
I'm very mad.
I would be too.
In the end, everything that led up to that moment, though, from Legacy was actually quite nice. Again, throwing the wall back towards that spawn to sell that fake and run back because you're forcing players to say, hey, we have negative vision on what's happening around the map on the defense. We have to press somewhere where we have power of numbers. So they had 3 players pushing out towards Cat. Legacy runs back into it and then are able to trade perfectly to open up the A site. It's a 4v2 for Christ's sakes. There's a camera watching towards main. It could also be first contact into heaven while 3 players have pistols out looking towards door. What do you feel like you need to recon out in the spot? But yeah, there you go. Deleter doing some stuff. I like that. 2 shots with the outlaw and deletes 2 people.
Oh my god, I was waiting for that. I was like, you could have kept malding. I would have preferred that over the dash.
I probably would have kept molding for like 13 rounds too and probably still not finished my point of how angry I was how they played that 2v4.
And you had TSM as the appetizer, so I'm ready for bald Van Silly at the end of this cast. I
felt like I've retained quite, like I've held back quite well against the TSM mold, but this one is already starting to take me off. No, I'm kidding. Let's get back into the serious business, though. This is still quite normal shots. You're just trying to do some early aggression, trying to catch your players off guard here, especially when you're playing on an outlaw. You can only take down 2, so hopefully you can get the trade, but doesn't work out. PRS now have a pretty decent bonus round. If you're looking at the buy here from Legacy, they've already encountered the outlaw in the previous round, so they're full fields for this one.
Ouch.
Not enough for Jonah P. Jonah 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jonahs, actually, yeah.
Yeah, for Legacy, it's Jonah P at home.
Damn.
Jonah knows I love him. Okay.
Oh, Prosperity
Complexity
first
Jonah
blood,
6, love him.
Love to see it. Cute little one-way. Got recons, shock bolts galore for Izo, so it'll be a tough one for Legacy unless they get a good win in mid. But with how far back the leader is, there's not like something like a jet that's just gonna run after him. It's all up to money.
And even after the first pick that they've lost here from Jonah 6 falling on middle, it's very hard for them to do to try to tempo a little bit more quickly on the side of Legacy because they've lost their Silva. So they have to try to stay up as a group and try to play trades. But by doing so, you're forcing util out, you're giving information away. PRS could just play the power of numbers, set up the crossfire setup like they have been doing. And it's just going to be a Fnatic run with 20 seconds left. Going to gamble a push into the A site.
Hey, Stinger should do some work. few little headshots, but there's only so many bullets in that gun, so I don't blame you. And Yuki at the back holds their ground. And it's 7 seconds, and Corrupt has to plant here and now. Prosperity on the way, won't be able to deny it. So you have a recon out. It's not going to ping Corrupt. It could be a big surprise for them, and Manny just jump spots them. And Prosperity lead with 3.
2 kills while being netted too. This is beautiful shooting coming out from PRS. So to convert a bonus round, man, I mean, we were just chatting in the green room before the series started. I guess before the broadcast started, and we're always like, Legacy, they have everything above PRX. Players, experience, shooting. I've seen none of that yet. PRS has been owning so far since the beginning of this round, and it hasn't been anything in terms of compositional wise, at least from the side of PRS. It's just Legacy being quite slow after losing Jonah at the very beginning of the round, but everything else is just lack of coordination on their side. I hate to be that guy, but they need to wake up when it comes down to the next gun round here. Unless they can do something special with these shares, I would. Oh, that could also help. ISO is gonna help them up a little bit.
I will take myself out.
Yeah.
Prosperity gonna hold their ground, and a Legacy with a bunch of sheriffs looking to duel someone here. Just the paranoia too to limit things. Jonah's gonna stay put and lets the deleter maybe get into position with the outlaw too with 2 flashes. But so far Legacy are being awarded a lot of map control, and that camera is gonna spot where this push is coming from, and trips are gonna stand in their way. Could be a Yoru making their way in very soon as the teleporters set in. And Silly's getting more pissed.
But you use both shock to like try to break trips without really walking up. Anyways, we'll talk about it when they lose a round here for Legacy.
I'm just waiting for the caster curse to happen one more time. The drop down there with the sheriff, but surely Vandals and Outlaws win against sheriffs, so a flawless one at that. Strong beginning here for Prosperity.
Yeah, so they're just a small mold this time. They walked up to the area. They were able to take control of market, and they weren't really being pressured this time around from stairs or from lane, right? But you could have kept walking up a little bit more and realized that there was an unbreakable trip, or just at the entrance of the market. So Shark Dart, break that, try to flush a way out here to try to work as a group. But instead here at this point, you use both shocks rather on either side of lane and try to break the sharks there. That was already a trap to walk into when you're trying to execute here into the B site. But eco round, it's fine. Thankfully now going into round number 4, they have weapons, they have annihilation out in the hands of Corrupt. And I know here that PRS have been turtling up a little bit more here in the extremities, leaving middle open quite often. So maybe they could try to catch something here inside a deeper site.
Deploying drone. Enemy mark.
Kind of interesting trip too from Blast. I usually see it farther into B main, but I'll hang with it. I guess he loved that mid control in there. It's kind of trying to spark a duel with Prosperity. Namely, it's been the deleter, either in A main or mid. And with this op, and now unobscured, this is going to be tougher for Legacy to cut through easily anyway.
Yeah. The drone though, they're trying to, I mean, are we trying to sell a fake? Yeah, we're trying to sell a fake towards the B site and then fake A and then fake B and then go B again.
Just love seeing the whole map of Ascent and using every second to do so.
That's fine.
Very fanatic of you.
It makes the job a little bit harder as a color commentator to just try to explain what the next steps are, but they have to commit into B.
Surely Muddy gonna do what they can, and the annihilation to kidnap the person at the back room. It's a good use of the ult. And now Prosperity at the top side. Legacy now gonna hold someone in main. It's gonna be that market push, and Tim has to show up. His impact needs to be found. Won't burn down on Yuki. Now 2 left for Prosperity on the retake, but they are established at Boathouse, and Tim is smoked off. Prosperity know this and don't want to get pinched. A nice high-low from Jonah and Corrupt to seal the deal for Legacy.
That was nice. Towards the end, though, I guess the TP that you had from Colbert was looking back towards that B site to see if they could find who's playing within B, who's being tunneled around, or who's turtling back, sorry, in the area. And then when the Euro TP's away from the A side, he's already set it towards that spawn. You're trying to fast rotate and force the players to really hold back in the back of that B site and get value out of that annihilation. So at the end of the day, the game plan was there. It was expecting for them to fake the B site to hit A with the Silva already moving towards that B site in the very beginning and breaking those shots. But they read correctly towards the end, thanks to the ult. And Legacy's finally on the board.
Yuki heard something up there, so it's gonna tap away at Legacy, who loves spending a lot of this time bank to sell fakes and draw out Prosperity, different parts of the map, and see if they can get a lucky hit or a weaker sight. Now, because this op rings true, it's gonna teleport out, and Legacy are still gonna be clueless on where this op really ended up. Oh, it's a battle through the smoke. Everyone barking on the other side. The leader with now the second pick with the op, and Kohlberg holds the front lines, gets the spike down. And this is Prosperity that's going to increase the lead here very soon, unless some 2 versus X gets converted again. Wait a minute. Jonah tries to even up the odds. Recon into Tracy's nothing.
Great shots coming out from the leader, though, and great rotations overall. I mean, Blast is just trying to jiggle peek. Didn't expect for the walk up to happen, but they have to be aware of that with this type of composition that you're playing against. You know that the Euro here on the up on defense likes to get these aggressive angles. You're able to do it twice here versus just a Jet. Nice little dink to kick things off, though, but there's only 16 seconds left on the clock.
Yuki has been so good, stoic within the site. It's always good for one. Now, to not be able to draw Yuki out into your fire is going to be tough. You hear him rounded about, and Jonah can't react in time, so still going to be a Prosperity round, especially starting off that 5 versus 3, and they get to keep the op,
and
too.
That's the interesting part, too, with Legacy being able to play this map of Ascent against a composition that they themselves pulled out on the first week. Roy mentioned that you're able to find the strengths and weaknesses of this map, of this composition, and how you could maybe take advantage of it. But they're still getting caught by those easy pushes out from the leader. We haven't found or able to get good value out of entries yet from how Legacy is trying to work around the map here. Unfortunately, here you still have Money that's not able to get the first frag of this game so far. This was probably the round that worked out the best here, where they actually converted for Legacy, because they were able to leverage so many ults and create such a confusion that confused myself at the very beginning, and that they're able to fight in and get the round. But anything outside into like the normal defaults has been PRS all along. Prosperity is doing a great job at it, controlling the defensive side. Now Legacy, they're calling out their timeout. This is their map pick in this series. And you have to look at the advantage of what Prosperity has in this series. They're playing the 2 maps that Legacy has played in week 1 of VCL, while Prosperity was able to hide away these 2 maps against their opponents today. So there's a chance here that Gompers might have been cooking after all with that broccoli.
Oh my God, you're such a map 1 Miranda. It's only let Legacy cook a little more.
I mean,
like,
it's
not the raw
map 1, but
broccoli
I've
that
watched
Gompers
6
is
rounds
talking
so far as Lemon Kiwi, and I haven't been really convinced yet.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be convinced this round either. That's a lot of pistols. But hey, Legacy have impressed us 1 round before. Why not 2? It all depends on if they can just commit, really amp up the aggression. So far, they're continuously backing away and just are going to give up a lot of this util.
The thing is they recon into market, and then they know that there's at least pressure coming out on that side. But how do you want to start moving up here to get that pinch into that market? You want to try to shuck dart it? Are you waiting for your next recon to go for a hit? You're trying to wait for the fuel to come down for Prosperity at the same time, but this is starting to become rather slow. It's hard for them to commit into the B site at the beginning when the other ones haven't taken middle yet. Oh, blind ult.
Just hitting your teammate. Okay. Whew. Now Legacy can cut into market. Now a lot rides on Kohlberg and what he can handle, and takes 2 for the road. So solid start.
Left.
Prosperity on retake mode, and this is definitely very possible in a 2 versus 2. Not able to upgrade those weapons unless Manny drops, and there it is to gift that over to Tim.
Planted.
On the post play, that's gonna be solid, especially Jonah will confront Yuki there, and Thrifty. Now you gotta start believing in Legacy, right?
I told you, Jonah is not Jonah at home. He is just Jonah 6. And getting great openings here with the Guardians and saving that round for a Legacy. And again, I don't want to be mean, but you're saying you got to start believing. Yes, but I had to believe thanks to Jonah. If it wasn't for him, that round was already over. I was already questioning this Hunter's Fury to try to get the blind ult when, again, the recon dart confirmed a player into market at first. So maybe he's trying to find a timing. Okay, at this point, maybe they're not in market anymore. I'm going to blind ult into a different spot and see if I can catch him. He read correctly that there was nobody into the market, but he waited way too long to try to find information and value off that Hunter's Fury. That said, gets all the kills, wins the round here for Legacy.
Who's next?
Well, I like this insert from the leader, and the spot the drive-by didn't get to teleport out.
I know exactly.
He was just a second away. Fish out of water. Prosperity just sealed off A, and now trying to hold on to market within the site. It's all up to Manny, and half health and now gone. Legacy had a lot of success now getting to B and could get some momentum rolling with Yuki and Izo against the world, but I gotta wait for rounds to finish because these comebacks and disadvantages have been
I've seen
really
a
wild.
2v4 before. No, but they're falling back to save. You can see Yuki doesn't have enough money to work in the next round, Izo either, so this makes sense. You could try to bring this into the next round. The rest of the team can't really buy. You can maybe leverage some ults now. You're not playing a Jet, so you can't play Bladestorm, but you can still leverage Hunter's Fury with rifles on top of that, just like Legacy did in their previous round in the lower buy, and still convert it into victory. So respect onto that, and things actually, apologies chat, will be more serious now. At least I'll be more serious now. We're starting to finally see some life coming out of Legacy since that timeout.
Yeah, just definitely upping the aggression of just running it down at B. They know who to expect at the back, where the trips are set up, and kind of try to draw out some attention in mid, see what they can open there, and then aren't always committing at market, so it kind of splits the defense. Pay attention to a lot of things, so Legacy are warmed up, and it's good to see a more closer match.
Yeah, and to be fair as well, 3 rounds on the attack out of 9 so far is commendable as well. You still have a lot of Valorant to work with here to try to close out their map pick here for Legacy. And now with this Hunter's Fury that we mentioned that was still available, it's just a walk down to start things off though from Izo. Just watching it from behind the barrier just to try to see if he could spot anybody peeking out. The decoy to run through first.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, because there's been usually the leader who tried to insert kind of just in the middle of the map, and it's always someone looking around top middle side. So Legacy just trying to be as aware as they can, all the threats, and now pressuring Catwalk, which is where Coburg has popped out before. It's gonna drone up to see how close they are in tree.
Okay, Pathing's trying to see if the Cypher's set up on the A side. Coburg, though, has been quite good in mobility around the map so far since this recon dart from Izo. They've realized and identified the pressure down towards middle. They're tunneling up and taking advantage of the extremities, at least here on the side of the A site. Now it comes down to the anchor holds.
My camera is destroyed.
That
Over
was
at
a
B.
deep drone too, and Legacy converging from all sides. No trips will be able to save them. Just the smoke that Prosperity can perhaps hide into, but just being able to buy some good time. But Manny tries to get a surprise, and Izo, these headshots have been insane. The shock to force them out of the smoke, and Blast still stabilizes. But just Legacy has no manpower left unless Jonah plays. Like he's 5 of them.
One enemy remaining.
Yuki gets a good headshot, and he even finishes off Jonah too. This has been clutch v clutch, with Prosperity bigger this time.
It was labor at least, but he made it work for PRS. So again, mobility around the map, taking advantage of the extremity of the A site, confirms now that after Legacy threw that drone into the tree, they would split back towards B. So what happens towards B? They are proactive themselves, turtling back inside the B site, leveraging their trips and their recon dart from Izo on that side. No wallbang kills resulted, no trip kills, but at least they got the information. They stalled long enough, and they allowed here Yuki to get that flank and that 2K in the end.
Oh, the leader is off exploring, and Blast is going to bring him towards spawn, and Izo just gets all the picks with the Hunter's Fury off of that information, so just good out the rip. Now Legacy have to still make do without, and they get hit by a huge paranoia from Cobra coming out of tree, and the attacking Hunter's Fury wasn't enough to suppress Prosperity, but the guns do just as well. It's just Izo, who when the team was at an advantage, it's already faltered. And Tim just brings the spike to Narnia all the way to the other side of the map.
And thankfully, Jonah's going to be the one that has the element of surprise because he rotates back from the spawn. So now it's a big task for Iso, but he's got full kits to work with. He's trying to rush the fight against Tim because he knows that Tim's low HP.
Scanning ahead. Found them.
Get the ping. Get Tim to readjust. Oh, now the jig is up and Iso picks the wrong door. Man, these rounds have been hectic. 3 in a row now, I should say, for Legacy. We're climbing back into this one.
Yeah. I was going to say it's twice here that we are actually able to get a net into the A site. And then somebody that's crouched in the net gets a 2K. And that was Manny this time around in Hell. And that forced here Tim to TP out. And unfortunately, as you saw how the results that came through, Iso couldn't find really where the Omen was going to be. Hurt the TP across or something, but then aimed at the wrong side and got picked off in the end when he was getting urgently pushed by Jonah as well. So Jonah so far has been a key component into the victories of Legacy so far, at least the rounds that they have so far. And they're now inched the... And getting really close to touching distance to tie up the game against PRS. So Prosperity, only with the hero rifle in the hands of Iso.
Little bud on the score line too. It's 6-4. In case you're a Prosperity fan, you'll rejoice.
Oh, there you go.
And with the net, Prosperity definitely respect the step up of Muddy, who I've been waiting to see really step up for Legacy. It's been more of a team effort. Get that fixed up right away so no one starts malding.
I was malding enough already, and now I'm looking at the wrong score and set the wrong score.
Right? I was confused when Yuki won the round. I was like, wait, I'm crazy, I guess.
But you're starting to see the rotation out from Prosperity. They're trying to stack towards this A side, gambling at that spot. I don't know how much you could do here, Manny, with only your classic.
30 seconds left.
Okay, well, off the info, trade 1-for-1. Defender comes out, and Tim is lost in the sauce, trying to find himself, and it's Legacy on their way, and Manny has a tough job, and now no job. You've been fired. And Jonah,
unemployed.
well, GG, yeah.
Spike planted.
All right, 6-5 now for Prosperity.
Last round in the half.
How come that counted up?
Scoreboard is against Prosperity.
Here.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you've been playing so well so far this first half. We just need to keep the game quite close. But indeed, they're able to make it quite close. So we talked about touching distance and almost tying up the game previously for Legacy. They're able to do it now. It's 6-5 now in favor of Prosperity. And it looks to be a 5-man hit on the side of Legacy down towards this B site. There's still trips holding up the area, and I'm hoping that the shocks from Jonah are lined up here to try to open it up.
Legacy
Revealing area.
finding confidence. The recon in the spot. The Yoru clone who does still get shot, and Yuki tries to be at the front of the one-way cage, and all the smokes on top. And Annihilation connects one and creates that gap, that opening for Legacy to trample through. And Manny just has so much to deal with, and just collecting the one is difficult enough. Now this B site has been hit so many times. I mean, it's too late for Prosperity to really adapt. It's just Coburg against the entire squad.
I'll handle this. I'm back.
And
And
yeah, I was
just
gonna
like
say
that.
the round is over.
Yeah. And just like that, it's 6-6. So that timeout that was called on the side of Legacy when they were trailing behind for so long was definitely what was needed. And it was most likely had to be a pep talk to make sure that we reel things back and making sure that we understand what we're playing against here on the side of Legacy. So good on them. They're really back and tied up. And now they were able to play their defensive side first. You're looking at the setup that they currently have so far. It's a 4-1 setup on the defensive side here for Legacy. And from the looks of it, it seems like we might be going double trips armor for the side of Blast so that the rest can maybe just fight while you have your Cypher being able to just stall as much as you can.
So I like this Deadlock stepping up. Corrupt with a fun little insert, but unfortunately not going to see much. Is Prosperity going to take a different route after seeing all the Jonah shock bolts come in? Still one left, of course, and now Prosperity going to amp the noise, and Jonah has an important job. He is going to be smoked off, but you could see him try to assist the frontliners. His Legacy hope to pinch from all sides, and it's Tim with first blood, and Corrupt collapses from the front. This is really good coordination from Legacy to surround, divide, and conquer Prosperity. Left with just their lurk now with Manny in 1 versus 4, so pistol going the way of Legacy.
Wow, okay. Things are back. Things are back in favor of Legacy so far. Winning that pistol puts him now
I think it's
at 7-6. No,
I'm
it was
so
6-6 the last
confused.
half. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Someone will win this game, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Give me 5 seconds to just take a breather.
I was like, are you up the flu or something?
Yeah.
Well, Legacy play that slow, so you could have a lot of time to breathe. But it's Prosperity on the attack now, and
Yeah, and it's also me trolling, seeing double trips, and you can still get armor, but still, nonetheless, Blast is able to get that double trips to hold up the A side, and the rotates that you're able to get quickly from Legacy on that pistol round turned out good in their end by taking that full control of the B side first. Walling off here behind them, focusing now onto the market. Those that TP'd out from the A site, pinching out towards that spawn, so nothing here that Prosperity could really do to try to entry into this B site. Now Jonah's trying to hold this ADS with the Guardian. Good for wallbangs.
good for no kills, unfortunately for him. And Cage is set up, free orb for Prosperity, and you go next. This
That's
adjustment, Corrupt is going to confront Yuki here in a second.
The beauty you have of this Viper wall too, you can try to leverage that to cross back towards Min or try to push up towards Catwalk. And then people can't really swing across unless they do. They're decayed and get instantly popped off like Corrupt just did.
Okay, wait. The Marshal's going crazy doing the 7 impression. TSM. So far, Prosperity only have one pistol and a hope and a dream. It's Manny that has to man up, and Legacy just deal with the problem. And it's going to be 8-6 now, I believe.
Yeah, great to deal with that pressure, or selecting a target being Tim at low HP and confirming that right click to take him down. So yeah, 8-6 is the scoreline that we have so far. Can't forget that Prosperity is still at 6 on the board. But what we really wanted here for the side of Prosperity is the move into the A site for at least the plant. They kicked things off quite well to take down Colbert first, but they thought they'd be able to surprise some players on the top of heaven, but it's still muddy. When I called him out being like, what, 0-6? He's now at 9-10, picking up these kills. Now has the easier side to deal with, or for him to be able to allow to get his own aggression moving into this game.
Yeah, Prosperity don't get lucky here. They could be giving double digits to Legacy in the first map. That would go awry, especially in a best of 3. Not a lot of wiggle room, so.
Poison's off.
Oh, Yuki, okay, is not going to be dissuaded by the Yoru clone. So it's a one-man advantage as Prosperity just kick down B, and Blast is going to be in a different position with the shotgun up close, and Corrupt's trying to be part of the party and jumps into the loving arms of Prosperity. Not a bonus converted, but 4 rifles into the next.
Yeah, very nice though for Prosperity. If anything, Manny was kind of just left on an island into the B site, but if it wasn't for the Gravnet as well on the rotate, Blast, solo on that B site. If it wasn't for Corrupt throwing that net, he would have definitely been taken down. And it was enough here to allow for the rest of Legacy to move in and help out to hold out this B site. So now going into finally a full gun round in round number 17, I like to say. I flip it on trying to count right now. How those rounds are going.
I have 16, but that's maybe girl math then. Oh, and that's a double kill. Don't have to count too high for that one. Jonah has been an X factor for Legacy. Just pulling out clutches, pulling out first bloods like that, and Corrupt has been very stable holding on the tree side, so Prosperity left in the dust here.
And nothing much they could do here with the last two weapons, and they could still try to go for picks if they can. There's really only Yuki that's kind of low in terms of the economy. But if they play contact, they might have a chance. You already see Corrupt pulling back his okay, his sonic sensor because he's closing the door. So they're using all audio cues in their favor for the side of Legacy. The jiggle for money is perfect.
That's another glass push from Prosperity, but how does it shatter? Muddy had a great Marshall double kill last round. This time the Guardian does just as much work. So Legacy very good at just continuously backing away and just forcing very favorable sightlines for themselves, where Prosperity have to push into them with not as many flashes, bells, and whistles to deal with them, especially when the deleter is gone.
And it's multiple times that you've seen players just walking down towards middle and getting not necessarily value, but they're not being challenged from the attack side when they're choosing these moments to push down. So I gotta say, for Legacy, they're doing quite good to understand what type of hits Prosperity are kind of doing. Because if you're looking at this right now, it's a full hit towards the B side, but they already have 3 players here on the defense.
Corrupt takes a shotgun to the chest, lives to tell the tale. Shockbolt's gonna come in and do damage to Prosperity, but Corrupt will not be able to escape. So I like that Prosperity were able to maintain the pressure, but that's gonna be dialed down now that the smokes are back in. And then they're getting cut off from their escape. Tim just peeking at them from mid. Prosperity are trapped with not much hope. They couldn't even punish Jonah. So they're left, Prosperity left scratching their heads on how they're gonna pull this round out of their hat. Jonah doing pretty
beautiful.
okay after that paranoia from Tim to assist. I'd love to save this rifle, but not going to at this point. It's going to be a pinch, and just hoping to take this 1v1 against Jonah.
Well, that's kind of what I don't want to, for Jonah to peek into that moment, because he just loses the rifle when they already have spike control.
30 seconds left.
And it was already pinned in there, and there you go, finally getting the pick for Legacy in the end. But I gotta say, the fight that they came out there for Legacy was quite nice. You went for what, a cage, recon with a flash. It doesn't matter here if Corrupt gets blinded, because even if he gets blinded, the cage is up to protect him, and then they get some scans, so he gets a pick. It was a very nice fight to counter into the aggression that Prosperity was trying to do, to just try to brute force their way into the B site. So we're starting to see similar strong defensive halves at the very beginning for both of these teams, but right now it's not really caused by Legacy making mistakes to win the rounds here for Prosperity, just like happened for Prosperity on the first half. This time is actually Legacy holding a great defensive side on how they're currently playing it as well.
Absolutely.
So almost feels like Legacy is like their own adversary so far.
Yeah, 4-1 on their defense. I believe it, especially when they're getting to lurk around and just sit in mid and cut the attackers off in their spawn. Gonna have to spread out a bit if you're Prosperity, but if you're not winning the duels, it's tough to figure out how to go forward from there. But Prosperity just down 7-10, and this is the Legacy map pick, so just being able to play this close is definitely nice. And on a tone setter of a map like Ascent, kind of interesting to see how you're going forward with this. And you don't get to see Viper every day on this map too, so.
Except if you're in VCL, you saw it last week, this week from these two teams. Viper wall to try to allow for them to walk up middle.
Hey, buddy. Oh my god, the flick on the Manny is crazy. And hearing more around the staircase, and the shotgun doesn't get the deletion, but Coburg and friends do, and they hold it back. They're ready to storm the trenches, and it's up to Tim to find a safer spot. Jonah finds some heads, gets traded, and it's just a 2 versus 1, and Tim gives up the thrifty to Prosperity.
I was just about to mention that Corrupt missed his annihilation, but he did catch somebody else there and then gets traded out at the same time. At first, though, that pick that came through by Muddy outside of that smoke was clean as hell. That was so nice to watch. But then everything else after that, the wall just didn't really allow here. If you're looking back at this, look at that shot. But then right after that, just Prosperity had too many players coming out on trees still. And not enough bodies to hold, enough utility to stall on the side of Legacy. And Prosperity is now at 8. Still trying to abuse middle. Finally, a wall comes up on the attack for them to work the crosses left and right here on the side of Prosperity.
Trying to play as far back as you can if you're Legacy to respect that Viper's wall, and then you swing into the deleter. You're in that name for a reason. Now Prosperity can try and wrap around, but kind of like what Jonah's doing to check out mid once again with the op. Prosperity are not going to commit on that market push either.
That was just so nice, though, on the side of the leader and ISO. The drone pushes the op away from Muddy. He's still flashing to block the drone, but it still allowed the leader to get inserted towards the right side of M1, and then just ADS is the pick onto Muddy. And now they have full mid control. They can take over Cat if they want to sell as a fake. But just trying to keep moving forward here, knowing that there's no trips on mid. They can find a timing through this.
I really respect the judge from Corrupt, though. Like, surely.
Until the leader goes behind 3 players.
30 seconds left.
Believe in the judge, and it'll deliver. Wait, okay, the op is there too. Prosperity do not want to mess with Tree. They've been trying to hit this a few times now, and no pressure on A main is going to make this defense stand even taller. It's Manny 3 HP in a 1v3, going to take the spike and leave.
And save.
Yeah.
I was waiting. The leader is about to get behind and kill 2 people, and then I don't necessarily want to say that he whipped the shot there onto Corrupt, but as soon as he was able to shoot onto him, Tim was already backed up in an area where he could just easily save his teammate. That was just unlucky timing towards the end. And they should have waited, though, for the side of Prosperity. They had the perfect lurk from the leader towards that back, and then they decide to go for full out brawl into the tree just to try to create a diversion. But while they're doing so, the leader was still in the back of M3. He wasn't anywhere close to try to continue to knife walk forward to be able to trade out against his with his teammates. So we're a little bit too antsy at that point for Prosperity, and this allows now Legacy to only need 2 more rounds to close their map pick.
From what, a 6-1 start for Prosperity to the tables have certainly turned. Have been flipped, if anything. Oh. Oh, Muddy finds the gap. The leader gone and went from being that big impact duelist to now a more even matchup. The ball in Legacy's court. And it just, when it rains, it pours. It gets Muddy too. That off has been a difference for this defense. And Coburg and Izo at least are gonna be together for this one.
Yeah, to save for the next round while Legacy's at map point. I mean, we got now 45 seconds plus a freeze time to talk about. What do you want to do?
I don't know. What you been eating lately?
I just had a banh mi. I had a chicken banh mi.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had water.
30 seconds left.
Are you on the Atkins diet? Are you on the Jason Momoa water boy type of diet?
Yeah, I'm just on my
Adam
water
Sandler
diet.
water boy, high quality H2O.
I'm the I don't eat before a cast because I'm stupid diet. So
10 seconds left.
I don't know who's winning at this point though, because usually it's supposed to not create brain fog, right? But I've been brain fogging this whole map.
I've noticed.
Yeah,
You were
it's gotta be
molding
the
too.
carbs. It's gotta be the carbs. You gotta do
carbs.
we gotta do protein and water instead. I think it would have been in a better spot.
Match point.
Another map coming up, so we'll have to lock in. Prosperity have one last chance to extend this and delay my lunch break, or actually dinner break. It's 5 p.m. here, but yeah.
But you do need to eat some protein. You don't even know what time it is.
I know. I am very jet lagged right now. If anyone has not noticed. And then they make me do math on top of this. Prosperity +1, by the way.
Yeah, 8-12 right now is the scoreline, as we do have looks like a fast pivot on the attack side though. If the leader could actually get orb control in the pick here, that's Hunter's Fury that they could execute it, but they don't clear wine.
Just who sits in wine, says Prosperity. Just haven't seen that before. Then again, they haven't really hit A main that hard at all. It's been a lot of tree, a lot of getting smacked around, a lot of Legacy backing away, and Prosperity not getting first bloods in their favor. Now it's Corrupt. The last time it was a judge, this time a much better rifle for them.
Cover going out.
It's a pretty important flex player for not only the Fun Havers team at the time, but also GC, and Coburg just teleports, wants to join the other side, and Jonah, Katniss Everdeen impression, and Izo would preferably like to fade into the shadows, but unfortunately has to try and clutch a 1v5 or give up the map to Legacy. And a Dimensional Drift, it's now hide and go seek, except one is hiding and seeking at the same time, and Izo, okay, deals with a Yoru clone, but now Muddy comes in swinging, and it's a home run for Legacy. 13-8 on Ascent.
They need a couple of rounds and a timeout to really start reeling things back for the side of Legacy Kingdom, and they did a great job since then.